So good evening, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. This is our honest review section of our spotlight of The Lady and the Tiger, which we just did the playthrough on. So guys, go check that out if you haven't seen it already. We do a full playthrough, 3 games of The Lady and the Tiger. Spoiler alert, I lost every game I played, so there's that. Which I know the girls enjoy that. But again, so this is a game that is going to be going live on Kickstarter tomorrow, March 7th. And guys, check it out. This is Jelly Bean Games. I know that they've had some wonderful success before, and this looks like it's going to prove well as well. Otherwise, let's start talking about what we really liked about the game. And I'm going to save you for last, because I think I know what you're going to say. And you're going to say it best.
Okay.
So, first, TP.
Me?
Yeah, I'm going to put you on the spot first because you played this game before myself and Ann did.
So, I should say, before I start, that I work for Jelly Bean Games, so I'm a little biased. So keep that in mind as I speak. I really like this game. I think it's fun. I think it embodies exactly what Peter's goal is, to make games that are kids friendly, that kids can play by themselves, and that adults also love. I think it's a lot of fun. I think the amount of turns that it takes to get to a win is perfect. It's like 3 or 4 rounds generally. I think the points are pretty balanced. The art's beautiful, which I know Ann's gonna say. I like that there's so many different ways to win. That's like, you can go for so many different strategies and still win, and you don't necessarily know how the person's playing it. So it could be very obvious, but it's not.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. That's what I love about this game.
You really touched on most of it. It's a short game, and that's not to say that it lacks of anything. I do enjoy the fact that it is a quick game. And it's very appealing because so many games nowadays try to go towards I'm going to be a 1 hour long strategic playthrough, or 2 hour, 3 hour game. And this game is pushing for the fact that it is a 15-minute head-to-head game that really allows you to bust it out when you have a few minutes of spare time. And it's fun to play in the process. There is some depth of strategy just because it is a social deduction bluffing game, and it depends on who you play with. That really changes it as well. My strategy against Nicole is a lot different than my strategy against Ann, just because I kind of see where each person's coming from in their own respect, which definitely adds interest. And again, art is fantastic on it, but I'm not going to delve too much into that because you're the eloquent one. So I'm going to pass it off to you now, put you completely in the spotlight.
On that note, I'm going to say nothing about the art. Just kidding, no. I absolutely love the art on this game. I know that we usually don't do the board cam for this, but I would like to, if we could, just put the board cam up so we can show off the art.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah. Tanya did an absolutely wonderful job. She is incredibly talented for the art for this game. There was conversation that Peter Hayward, the game designer, about adding an additional card to this game and how the public would react to his decision to add that card. And in that conversation, Tanya was talking a little bit about her art, and some of the things that I noted that she had pointed out were, or one thing in particular, is how the characters all flow into the background. So if you see the red tiger, he's got the fire, it's very hot. You can see that the tiger stripes kind of converge into the flames.
Would you say that it's too hot?
No, it was only yesterday when I called the police and the fireman.
Oh, perfect.
If you see the blue lady, the bottom of her dress goes into the border.
Very flowy.
Very flowy. You called this tessellation? I didn't know it had a name.
A tessellation pattern.
I didn't
you
ask
have
Peter.
one shape fits inside of multiple shapes together to leave no overlapping or blank space.
I love it. I love it, and I love the style too. You've got I feel like the peacock pattern, the peacock feather pattern on the red lady's card is very African feel. I feel like you've got a very Asian inspired feel for the blue lady. I'm most excited to see the additional cards that come out for this review and the art that goes along with it.
And that's stretch goals that he mentioned, right? That there would be more cards added as stretch goals.
I think so.
Different art cards, yeah.
So I'm everybody here knows like that's one of the big things that I really harp on about games is how pretty are they? Because how pretty are they? Because the prettier that they are, the more likely I'm going to want to play them because they're aesthetically appeasing. You're going to want to hold them, see them, whatever.
And that applies for kids as well. You know, the kids are going to be more
Oh
interested
yeah,
in
the
game
art's
that's-
not overly complicated. It's very flowy, which you're very calm. The shapes aren't overcomplicated. The patterns aren't overcomplicated. Kids like simple shapes, simple designs. I like it. I like that it's a quick game because one, you can bust it out. It's very convenient to bust out and play with somebody else, but you don't get stuck on your loss. So in a very long game, you put in a lot of effort, and if you lose, it's sometimes a little frustrating, especially when whether you're an adult or whether you're a child. So the fact that you can play 3 or 4 rounds in a short amount of time and tally up your wins and losses, who knows, your chances are it's going to be like flipping a coin. Maybe you're 50-50. And that is nice. It's fun, especially if you're a child and you get frustrated with games easier. If you're like me and you just act like a child and you lose, then I like a game that you can go.
Very good. So anything else people want to point out that they particularly loved about the game?
I won.
I really do have to gush on about the artwork, and this is going to segue me into
What you didn't necessarily.
what I necessarily didn't care for, because I want more art, and I know that it's a stretch goal, but I want to see more art. I really
think
do
it's
like
just
it.
because Tanya did such an amazing job that you want
She
to
really
see
did.
what else there could be, knowing that there is.
Oh yeah, so if you could bring back up the board.
Sorry
Ken.
about that. So
Those are very gorgeous.
yeah.
So there are the 2 specialty cards, which is the red blue card and the lady tiger card, and the artwork on those is phenomenal. Again, I really have to gush over it. It's really nice. So my biggest thing, and it is both what I liked and what I didn't like about the game, is that there are multiple scoring mechanisms in the game. So you have 6 points for completing a set, 1 point for making a 1 correct guess, 5 points for making a 2 correct guess, 4 points for an incorrect guess, 3 points for the deck running out, and it's interesting that they are all different point values. But I get slightly confused about it, to be honest. Like, it's hard to keep track of all the different point values off the top of my
It
head.
is my understanding that when the game does come out, there's going to be a quick reference guide
Okay.
with the scoring system. So that makes it a little easier, but I can understand. It's
When we are playing prototypes, it's hard to. I mean, we're reviewing based on how it is now. We got to keep in mind that those things are going to be fixed in the main.
Right,
game.
so
We
I
all
was
have the
not sure if there was
privilege of-
even so with the quick reference guide, I can see where it can get confusing, but I feel like this game, because it's so quick, because you can so easily back yourself as the collector into a win or loss situation from the get-go. I feel like it kind of needs the multiple scoring points, the multiple win conditions. But I can definitely see, even if I had a quick reference guide, like I'd have to pause the game to figure out, okay, well, how am I going to win? What's the right combination? Then what's the right combination of numbers that I'm going to need to win the game?
So I totally understand your points, and I feel that way too while I'm playing it. But I did also play it at Prototype Con. The amount of points were a little different. And the balance now is so much greater. Peter added the rule that if the collector gets something that matches the guesser's set or guesser's card, they can call it and win. That really changed how we play. And I know we didn't play in any way that actually was a win condition for us.
But I can see that being somebody's
But-
strategy.
It definitely changed how you your thought process when you played the game. When I got all those tigers, you could have called that as your win, and I don't think you did.
I didn't see that.
But I did have 4
Oh
tigers.
yeah, you did, but because I let it run out because it was 3 points for letting the deck run out versus 2 points for a
calling
an opponent's match
But it's
set.
the small rules like that can get a little frustrating, that is a little hard to remember, really make a difference in the game, and it is much more fun this way. When I played with Josh before that rule came into play, we never let the deck run out, and I almost never guessed.
Interesting.
I mean, it's
So it makes
completely
you
different.
more.
It makes every turn matter that much more.
I do have to agree though that the game does seem very balanced on a point scale. Like
Yeah.
I would like to even some points out just to make it easier to remember, but at the same time, from what we played, each point scale seemed to be there for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And it made sense to me. Like nothing seemed overpowered. Because yes, guessing 1 is easy, but you get a whopping 1 point out of it. So low risk, low reward.
It's just a matter of remembering that, as hard as it is to remember the different numbers, it is there for a reason.
Right. And once you get a couple playthroughs under your belt, then that's not really a big deal. And this is the kind of game that lends itself to, I'm going to sit just look like we did for our playthrough session. I'm going to sit down and play 3 games because it's going to be 45 minutes of time, And that's including reading the rules through the first time around. And you do have the potential to have some very quick games as well. You could have a 2-turn game, which almost happened with us, that one for the first, or the you and me game, but it didn't. I lost.
You did. One thing I do want to point out that is a little bit of a negative to me, but grain of salt is there are some games that I want to play over and over and I never get sick of. I'm satisfied with this game for the night. I don't feel the need to continue to play it. I mean, it is a 15-minute game. We were playing it for about 2 hours, so that's fair enough. But I think it is because it's simple and it's fun. But I probably would want to play it again next week. So it is a toss-up.
So that's part of it, is that it's such a quick, simple, easy game to pick up and play through that it's not a legacy heavy strategy board. You're not going to sit there and play it for 3 hours and then you make one mistake halfway there. Oh, but I want to try again. You can do your 4 playthroughs in an hour easily and be like, okay, I played 4 times. And if you don't, it also depends on who you're playing with, because with a larger group of people, granted it's only head to head.
Every game is different.
Every game is different depending on who you play with, and I touched on that before with I play different versus Anne than I play against Nicole.
It is interesting to learn and accommodate for the different play skills. You are right with that.
Absolutely. Anne, anything you would like to point out?
No, not in particular. I think you kind of
Stole the spotlight there.
No, well, you kind of hit on all the points that I would have made.
Well, good. Is there anything that I know we kind of touched on this a little bit? Is there anything that either of you two would change given the opportunity? And I know that you actually did get to help change something in the game.
I mean, I had a little bit of sway. I gave my
You
opinion.
dipped a toe in the pool.
I think it's there's nothing cooler than affecting something. That was the coolest experience of Prototype Con. Giving my opinion and having it matter. That was the coolest feeling.
And this is, like I said when you and I were playing, this is your arena. I feel like you are very good at bluffing and social deduction games. This is definitely your wheelhouse. So to hear your commentary or your opinions on the game, it matters. You know what you're talking about.
She also,
that's a nice thing you've ever said.
she's also bringing you up compliment-wise on the fact that this is your wheelhouse and you're so good at it because she beat you. And she's gonna be like, that
makes me better.
I told you earlier, I won against Nicole.
You deserve that win. Despite what Peter Chayward said. Peter C. Hayward said.
Peter Chayward. I beat Nicole in her wheelhouse. If I beat Nicole at the other game, it is what it is. But this is Nicole's game.
I love social deduction. I love bluffing.
She's so good at it, and to win is I got the gold egg.
One more thing I'd like to ask, you know better than me, is as for scoring markers, are there going to be any in the game when it's released?
Oh, that's a good point too, because we grabbed ours from another game, and I think that this scoring marker method worked out really well. It just seemed to fit.
I want to say yes.
Well, Peter's here in the chat.
Peter
so
is here in
hopefully-
the chat.
Hopefully you could answer that for us, Peter. Are there going to be scoring markers in the game? Because that would be...
He had scoring markers, prototype scoring markers when we played it at Prototype Con.
There shall be scoring
Yes!
something. Okay,
Okay.
perfect. Because that would have been a major concern of mine because, yes, with the balancing out of everything with the multiple scoring options,
Yeah.
that would be a real pain to keep track of in your head because I got 2 points that one round and 3 points the other round and 1 point and then 3 more points and
Scoring is easy though. It is as easy as grabbing.
and they shall be glorious.
I would expect nothing less from you, Peter.
Absolutely.
I'm actually now I'm really anxious to see what they're gonna look like.
Same.
But yeah, that's something I would trust that Peter would have thought of. He already thought of it.
Right, yeah.
But
No,
it is
I
a
mean-
good point. It is this game would be very difficult without scoring points markers of some kind.
Exactly. Otherwise, I think that's everything that I wanted to touch on. Ladies,
Oh, I'm good.
lady,
Lady?
tiger.
That's it. The one thing I do want to mention is I love Peter's price points for his games.
So what is the price point for this? Peter.
Good thing you brought it up.
Yeah.
I want to say it's around the $10 value, but I'm not.
Oh.
I think that's correct because I looked at the Kickstarter this morning and it's on there.
It is
And
on.
I think it's less than.
So
but
Peter, you
I
can clear that up for us.
I love that he aims to make games.
$9.
That's
Oh wow. Okay.
He
so even
aims
better
to
than
make
$10.
really good gifting games.
$25 for 3. So that's the gifting package there.
And Peter, when is the estimated fulfillment date, if you have that?
But $9, that's another fantastic thing about that is you don't have the sticker shock of a lot of these games that are going on to Kickstarter these days.
A Kingdom Death,
Oh yeah, Kingdom Death is definitely one. I know people. That's
$1,000.
thousands of dollars people drop on that.
And
game.
it's worthwhile.
I know somebody who spent $1,000 on that game.
Huh.
But
It's worthwhile. The content's there, but so is this, and it's a lot easier to take that that. Everything's a risk these days, especially with Kickstarter when you don't see the game in your hands. It's hard to imagine what it'd be like to play with.
we're putting September on the campaign because I never want to deliver late, but I expect to have it out well before.
So you'll have it way in time for Christmas.
Fantastic.
But I love that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's $9. If you're not an amazing fan of the game, it's still an amazing Christmas gift. There's really no wrong that you can do with backing this game. So I love that he
You don't
aims
know
for
what
those
to
price
get the nieces and the nephews and the kids.
Low risk, high reward.
Yes. Yes.
In all seriousness, though, this is a really great game, and it does exactly what it sets out to do. That's the most important thing there. It's not trying to be too big for its britches, and it's taking what it wants to do, and it does it very well. And a big part of that, is the art. I have to gush over just because it really is just the final brushstroke. And
It's a gorgeous game.
yeah,
Well, yeah, Peter said he will not create a game unless it's beautiful.
yeah.
His first game, Scuttle, is very pretty as well. It's completely different
Art
art
style.
style.
It's watercolor style, right? I believe it's like a watercolor kind of art.
I don't think it's
I
watercolor.
haven't seen it.
I'm more cartoony.
We have it.
Yeah, we do. But it's a very different style, but it is also very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like Jelly Bean Games does a great job of making pretty games.
So, last second, any final thoughts leaving us this evening?
I'm happy.
Okay. So, Anne, oh, you're just looking at me. You,
Oh, no.
You didn't say anything.
I'm just mesmerized with you.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. But anyways, so thank you all for joining us. This was our honest review section of The Lady and the Tiger going live on Kickstarter on March 7th. Definitely go check it out. It gets our seal of approval for sure. Other than that, you can stop the recording. I'll do the sign off and then we'll do our other thing. But thank you all for joining us. Twist Gaming signing off. Have a good night. I'm Matt.
I'm Anne.
And I'm Brandon. Thanks.